A Japanese video game enthusiast named Ark wakes up one day to find that he's in the body of his 8-foot-tall skeleton gaming avatar. Unable to figure out how this happened, he tests out his skills and enjoys himself. After which, he heads to a town to get some food. He comes across an elf named Arian, but she walks away after noticing his excessive excitement. Now Ark enters a mercenary guild to get himself a license so that he can earn money through quests. He is told that he needs to bring the bodies of 3 enemy beings to get it approved. So he sets out and slays a couple of bull boars along with an orc. On his way, he stumbles upon a group of bandits who are about to attack 2 noble women, Lauren and her maid Rita. He takes down the bandits and saves the woman's honor, after which he loots the bandits' belongings and heads back to get his license sorted. He enjoys a feast with the stolen money and concludes that he is in a new world, so he might as well get used to it. Now, Ark gets himself a job to protect the village girl named Marka, who wants to collect medicinal herbs in the dangerous spots of a nearby forest. The license issuer asks Ark to join a guild so that he can take up higher level jobs, but he doesn't want to expose his skull face, so he avoids his question. He makes his acquaintance with Marka, and they head out into the forest. During their journey, Marka reveals that her father died, thus leaving her mom Siona alone and dependent. Ark becomes emotional after listening to how noble and kind Marka is at such a young age. And then they come across an injured kitsune. The animal is hostile at first, but then Ark heals her, and she creates an instant bond with him. He names her Ponta due to her fluffy tail. And then the group reaches the spot where the herbs are being grown. However, Marka is instantly attacked by a large basilisk, and Ark holds it off. He is unsure of his powers at first, but then he takes it down easily after realizing his extremely impressive stats. He also notices a strange bracelet disappearing from the monster's leg after it dies. The group returns to Siona, and Ark leaves after witnessing an emotional mother-daughter moment. Meanwhile, some soldiers kill a small basilisk, but are shocked to see the massive one that Ark had slain. It makes them wonder if there is a new hero in town. Ark takes on the new task of catching bandits and completes his mission quite easily. However, he also discovers open cages with no idea of what was inside them. Now we learn that Lord Triton Diento was the one who wanted to kill Lauren earlier, as he has been instructed by Prince Dakaris of Rodan to cause panic in anticipation of a war, and he's also upset that his son Udolan is ineffectively leading their illegal slave operation. As Ark exits the tunnel, he is attacked by Arian, who accuses him of kidnapping elf children, but she eventually gives him some credit after seeing that a spirit creature such as Ponta is his companion. Before leaving, Arian explains how bandits are kidnapping innocent elves, and this explains the cages Ark saw earlier. He is fascinated upon meeting an elf and heads to the elf forest hoping to see Arian again. Once he's there, he notices Udolan and his bandits mistreating some innocent elf children. Ark fumes over this sight and is about to attack them, but then Arian shows up and fights the bandits. Udolan uses the kids as leverage to keep her incapacitated, and then he instructs his men to outrage her modesty. Luckily, Ark instantly teleports and helps Arian defeat the bandits. They find mana collars on the children, and Ark takes them off using his healing spells. Arian is intrigued by his powers, so she finally introduces herself properly and offers to hire him for another task, as his skill will prove to be handy. Ark accepts the job and teleports Arian to the town of Diento, where they are to meet Arian's colleague Danka. He's not very fond of Ark at first, but he eases his suspicions after seeing Ark's camaraderie with Arian and Ponta. The team makes a plan to invade a slave warehouse, and they set things in motion after a heavy meal. They sneak inside the warehouse but find that all the bandits have already been expertly assassinated. They look around the place to look for the intruder, and Ark is attacked by a ninja named Chiyome. She stops after seeing Ponta and gives Ark some documents that prove the royal family is engaging in the illegal elf trade. She leaves after Ark giving a tip about more slaves in Triton's manor. Arian and Danka manage to free all the prisoners of the warehouse, and then Ark tells them about what Chiyome said. Now that Danka is completely reassured about Ark, he allows him to help Arian rescue the slaves at Triton's palace, as he takes the others to safety. Chiyome and her fellow ninja Goemon watch on as Ark and Arian head to the mansion, but she wonders how Ark identified her as a ninja in the first place. Ark and Arian break into the mansion and creates a ruckus to distract the soldiers. Then they enter Triton's room and stop him from harassing his slaves. Arian takes great joy in beating him up, and Ark uses this chance to conveniently steal from the treasury. There are other explosions in the castle as they escape, and Ark assumes it to be Chiyome's doing. Arian asks Ark to visit the Elflands with her so that she can continue rescuing slaves with them. But Ark shares his concerns as he doesn't want to show his face to the elf elders. Arian convinces him to take off his helmet, and he gives her a fake curse story to explain his situation, as he is too embarrassed to tell her that this is a gaming skin. Meanwhile, Princess Sax and Dakares tell King Carlon about the incident with Triton, and Princess Yuriana suggests looking into the slave trade rumors as they violate the human-elf peace treaty. She also suspects that Dakares and Sact are involved in the slave trade, so she contacts her sister Seriana, who rules over an elf-friendly kingdom. Ark and Arian reach the elf settlement of Lala Toya, and Arian go to visit one of the elders to allow Ark inside. She eventually gets permission and introduces him to her parents, Dylan and Glennis. Dylan is also an elder, and he discusses the political situation with Ark and Arian, after which he invites Ark to take off his helmet so that they can eat together. The next day, Arian and Dylan go to the elders' meeting in Maple to discuss the troublesome slavery issue. Meanwhile, Ark spends some time with Glennis, who wants to spar him to assess his skills. The elders decide to continue rescuing slaves and monitoring the response of the humans for now, as they don't want to stir a war. Glennis defeats Ark multiple times, and it makes him wonder how skilled he truly is when he's not using his overpowered stats. At Maple, Arian meets her older sister Even, who is getting married next year. The sisters have a heartfelt conversation, after which Arian heads back to Lala Toya with Dylan. Ponta and Ark refresh themselves in a hot bath, but get into an awkward situation with Arian when she also enters the same room. Later, Dylan says that he wants to continue employing Ark, and tells him about a magical pool near Lord Crown that can possibly lift his supposed curse. At night, Ark wonders if he's actually cursed and tries to heal his hand using his own powers. Surprisingly, he succeeds, but it's only a temporary fix. However, Ark is now certain that he is actually cursed. He joins Arian as she sets out to Olav to hunt more slave traders. An innkeeper tells them that hunted wolves are attacking people in the woods. Now, Yuriana leaves for Limbold to meet Seriana, but Dakares keeps an eye on her. Ark and Arian comes across haunted wolves in the forest and learn that they use illusions to hunt. Ark finds a leader and breaks a bracelet on his leg, which happened to be the same one he found on the basilisk. Suddenly, the pack leader leaves peacefully and instructs his followers to do the same. Meanwhile, Yuriana and her maid Ferna are ambushed and killed by Dakares' guards, and it grabs Ponta's attention. She leads Ark to the spot and he kills all the assassins with the help of the wolf leader. After this, Ark manages to revive Yuriana, Ferna, and some of her guards using his powers. Yuriana believes this is the work of God and proceeds with her mission, but Ark wonders about the morality of his revival as the team enter Olav. Here they find Chiyome fighting some thugs, and Ark recognizes her instantly after spotting her ears. Chiyome finally introduces herself properly and states that she's from the Jinshin clan of ninjas. She questions Ark about his awareness of ninjas, as the term is strictly used in the clan, which was founded 600 years ago by a man named Hanzo. Ark deduces that Hanzo was probably another human like him, but doesn't give a clear answer. Now, Chiyome asks for their help in freeing her own people, and Arian agrees after noticing similarities in their personalities. Meanwhile, Dakares is upset to learn about the failed attack on Yuriana, and his assistant Cetrion sends him to a safe house. Chiyome asks Ark and Arian to attack a slave market in Edsat, so that she and her clan can use the distraction to attack the other slave markets that will be too busy sending reinforcements. Now they meet Goemon, and Ark forms an instant friendship with him as they flex their strength. Goemon and Ark kick things off by barging into the Edsat market, and they defeat the soldiers quite easily, but they overdo it and get buried under a lot of rocks. The girls make their way inside as Dakares sends his soldiers to look into the matter. Chiyome uses her ninjutsu powers, and Arian uses her magic to get past the guards and save some prisoners. After this, they meet up with Goemon and Ark, who have managed to climb out of the debris. Goemon stays behind to deal with the reinforcements, while the others continue to free more slaves deeper inside the market. They get over the horrible sights they see inside the cells, and Ark teleports all the survivors to safety, after which he rejoins Goemon to obliterate the reinforcements. Dakares starts to panic, and then he is killed by Cetrion, who reveals that he's been working for Sect all along. Despite knowing about the failed assassination, Sect decides to fake Yuriana's murder and put it on Dakares so that he can become the sole heir to the throne of Roden. Yuriana meets Seriana and learns of Dakares' death, after which she quickly figures that this was Sect's plan all along. She decides to hold a meeting with the Elf Elders so that she can keep the situation in check. Later, Chiyome reveals that Dakares was transporting the captured slaves to the Holy Revlon Empire, which is led by Lord Dormitianus. He also happens to be the one who was supplying the monster bracelets to Dakares. Now we watch his associate Fumba observing a sandworm, devouring some wyverns. Arc and Arian also encounter some wyverns on their way, and Arc shows off his lightning powers to shoo the monsters away, even though he overdoes it. This catches the attention of an elf named Karsi Held, who meets our heroes in a local pub and offers them a map of the Revlon Empire in exchange for helping him catch a sandworm. Arian agrees, but she has a hard time believing that Karsi is able to peacefully coexist with humans. Arc tries to keep her calm with some wine, but it backfires badly and the commotion makes everyone tease Arian about her supposedly wild night with Arc. The team sets out with Karsi and his human friend to catch the sandworm, but they are suddenly attacked by an unusually large one that is surprisingly immune to Arian's fire powers. Arc manages to take it down using nothing more than his brute strength, and he notices that the sandworm also has a bracelet on it. Later, we learn that Fumba is breeding monsters and accelerating their growth using the bracelets for power and innocent people from the village as food. Arc and Arian reach the border town of Kasek and split up to get some information about the slave trade. Arc rescues a woman from some bandits, but her affection makes Arian a little jealous. Their intel eventually leads them to a fortress where Fumba is supposedly located. They make their way past the guards and find Fumba after a brief search. However, Arian inexplicably attacks Arc and he tries to use his healing powers, but he can't break her trance. Then he learns that an imp is bewitching her and Ponta helps him kill the imp and snap Arian out of it. She is seemingly unconscious now, so Arc confronts Fumba, who calls out his tiger monster. He reveals that the elves he kidnapped have already been sacrificed for his experiments, and this infuriates Arc. He kills the giant tiger with one swipe and goes on to destroy Fumba's army of monsters. Chiyome also shows up and rescues Arian from an ogre, after which she reveals that her clan has taken care of all the other monsters in the fortress. However, Fumba escapes after unleashing his most powerful beast, a 5-headed Hydra. The Hydra attacks our heroes and creates a huge explosion, thus convincing Fumba that they are dead now. He orders the Hydra to move towards the city and destroy it completely, but then the team is shown to have survived thanks to Arc's holy shield. Arian reveals that she was conscious when Fumba spoke about what he did to the elves, and she vows revenge. Arc decides to fight the Hydra while the girls go for Fumba. He unleashes a flurry of attacks and temporarily incapacitates the Hydra, but it is quite powerful as it can regenerate quite quickly. Now that he's running out of options, Arc decides to use his trump card and summons the infernal demon, Ilfrit, to combat the Hydra. The girls and Ponta confront Fumba over his insecurities, and it ticks him off. Chiyome makes use of this distraction to disrupt Fumba's magical symbols that allow him to control his monsters. Arian wastes no time in lighting him up on fire and killing him soon after. Meanwhile, the Ilfrit totally dominates the Hydra, and it tries to escape, but Arc catches it by its tail and throws it up in the air, allowing Ilfrit to burn it to ashes with its explosive flames. Now we learn that Yuriana has met with the Elf Elders and has revealed everything about Sect. She reaches a peaceful agreement with the elves, and they agree to support her claim to the throne of Roden. This worries Sect, and he tries to plan out his next move. Meanwhile, Dormitianus learns about the Hydra's death and demands to know who is capable of such power. Now, Arc reveals his true form to Chiyome, and it spooks her out. This prompts Arian to remind him about the Lord Crown, and he decides to continue his adventures in this world for now. And that's the end of the show. Please like, share, and subscribe for more awesome recaps. See you soon!